guys, welcome back to your practice. It's a really sunny, lovely day here in Austin, and class today is going to be focused on the splits. So we're going to focus on opening up both the front and back of the hips, so hip extension and hip flexion. So really also releasing the quads and the psoas, which often tends to be tight if we are seated a lot in our days, if we're at a desk or sitting in a car a lot. So we're going to use props. We're going to use all the props potentially. So no worries if you don't have everything. You don't need it, but it's always nice to have at least a couple of blocks. So if you don't have those, find something maybe that you could prop your hands up onto. So start seated with me in Virasana. So take a block. I have mine on the low setting, but you could put it on whatever height works, low or medium. And we're going to start opening up the spine. Interlace your hands behind your head. Lean your head back into your hands and lift your elbows to the sky. As you exhale, pull belly to spine, a little bit of a rounding, having your tailbone. And we're going to go back and forth, kind of fast. In, out, in, out. Good. Keep going, in and out. You can close your eyes, listen to the sound of your own breath, and you're just warming up the spine. So starting the movement at the base of the spine, at your pelvis. Good. Come to the center, breathe in, and then we're gonna exhale, go to the right, inhale, go left. So in, out, in, out. In and out, kind of quick. In, out, left, right. Good. Come to center, take a breath in and your back bend. Exhale, round your spine. So nice. Release your hands. Come forward off of your block, and you're going to sit back on your feet. So we're going to open up the tops of the feet. So this line is all connected. So as we're trying to open up the front of the hips, we also want to get all the way down into the tops of the feet. So toes are pointed, and we're going to play with lifting the knees. And if the ground feels far away, you can put your hands on blocks. So try to keep your feet pointed, and you're just opening up tops of the feet. And then let's do one leg at a time. So keeping the left thigh grounded, grab your right knee, lift it up. You can balance with your left hand if you need to, and circle your knee around. So you really get into some different areas in the right foot, and then switch. Cool. Go to the left. Circle out one direction. Opening up the front of the ankle, the top of the foot, circle the other direction. Great, and then come forward, curl all 10 of your toes, and sit back into a little toe squat. So knees together, ankles together, toes together. And then pop the knees down, stay with the toes curled. Bounce a couple times on the feet like this. So you open up the feet the opposite way. Cool. And then interlace your fingers, invert your palms, stretch your arms up, breathe in. And as you exhale, round your back. Push your hands forward. 2 more like that. Inhale, back bend. You can look up. Exhale, belly to spine, round the back, tuck the chin. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, round. Beautiful. Come forward, plop your hands down, downward facing dog. Go ahead and paddle out your feet. We had the knees bent a lot, so now we want to open up the backs of the knees. Straightening one leg all the way before you switch. Cool, come to plank pose. In your plank, just measure yourself out so the wrists are as wide as the shoulders. The hips are slightly below the shoulders, up and down. Firm up your legs. Think that the kneecaps are lifting up, the belly's pulling in, the collarbones are spread, the shoulder blades are wide. And then you can soften your knees and move back to your down dog. With the knees bent, you'll find a nice long crescendo, a nice length in your spine from your wrist up to your sit bones. Inhale, plank. Look out in front of you. Exhale, dog. Bend your knees. Look back at your thighs. Good. Inhale, step your right foot forward. Release your back knee. We're going to point the left toes. So press into the top of the left foot like we've been doing and try to lift your kneecap off the floor as best you can. And then release. One more time, the foot's pointed, press into the toenails and lift your knee. Good, see if you can stay there and sweep the arms forward, hook your thumbs, your belly's on your right thigh. Awesome, release and release. Make sure your knee can touch your armpit, rock your hips a little left and right. Cool, come to center of that. Hook your thumbs forward, stretch your arms up. So think back bend to come up. Interlace your hands behind your head, lean your head back into your hands, do a little back bend. And then I want you to exhale, drop your armpit to your knee. Inhale, come back up. Back bend to come up. So chest forward, vision up. Exhale, release. One more, inhale, come up. Cool, maybe this time you feel strong and you want to press into your left toenails and lift your knee off the mat, if you want. And then release. Take the arms up, hook your thumbs, and just lean over to the right side. Getting into the left frontal hip. And then we'll take a twist. So hook your elbow outside of your thigh. Make a fist with your right hand. Push it into the ball of the left hand. And then you're revolving from the crown of your head through your hips. So instead of leaning to the right, pull your torso back so you're more in a straight, long line. Your plumb line, your center axis from the crown of your head down through your hips. Good. Release your hands, and we're going to move forward and back. So keep your left knee down and move your hips back and extend your right leg towards straight. Doesn't have to be all the way straight. And I really recommend not using a block so we can really find our actual fit here with our body. We're gonna go forward and back. So inhale, move the hips forward. Exhale, hips back, lift your right toes and keep going. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Cool, downward dog. Step your left foot forward. Lower your back knee. Again, get your armpit to hit your left kneecap. Walk your left ankle forward until it's directly under your knee. And then we will press into the right foot and see if you can lift your knee off the mat. Exhale, lower. Again, lift the knee. Exhale, lower. Good. Take the arms forward. Belly hits the thigh. Hook your thumbs. Back bend, chest forward, vision forward and up. And you're in your back bend. Good. Interlace your hands behind your head. Lean your head back. So try to bring more weight into the right foot. Pressing into the back foot and think that you're energetically drawing your feet together. If you feel strong here, press into the right foot and lift the knee. Exhale, release. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, little side bend to your left. Again, getting into the front of that left quad, that left hip flexor. And then hook your elbow outside your left thigh. You can even give yourself an assist. Make a fist with your left hand. Push it into the right palm. Again, try to lean forward. So think that you actually bring your chest away from your thigh so that you're really long in your spine. And you're actually revolving around your center. Start to look up perhaps. Take another breath here, in and out. And release your hands. Good. Thrust your hips forward. Breathe in. Exhale, extend your legs. Your left leg only, right knee down. Inhale, bend. You can look out, look forward. Exhale, your hips just go back as much as you can. Inhale, bend. Exhale, lift the left toes, extend. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Good. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Bend the knee, turn the hip open. Roll out your right ankle, switch the direction. Straighten your leg, but keep your hip open. Nice. Pull your left heel down towards the mat. Exhale, take your knee across, tap your left elbow, tap your right elbow, knee to the nose, step through, lower your back knee, arms up, Anjaneyasana, breathe in, little back bend. Exhale, release. This time, straighten your right leg, and I want you just to curl your left toes and sit on your left heel. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, fold over your right leg any amount. So almost like a half Virasana variation. Lift your toes up towards your face, pull your chest towards your toes. Take another breath in and out. Re-bend your knee, breathe in, and then lift your right leg up. Walk your hands to your left foot at the back of the space. So standing split over your left leg. Good. Inhale, long spine, and exhale, take your head down. Now I want you to see if you can balance here. Bend your left knee a little bit. Take your left hand behind your calf, and then your right hand behind your calf. Interlace your fingers there and start to lift your heart away from your thigh. So it's almost like a warrior 3 variation. Good, take another breath in. And then exhale, crawl your hands forward, step your right foot outside your right hand, left hand down, release your knee, swim your right arm back. We're gonna take a quad stretch. So you'll grab your left foot. If you can't find your foot, put your hand on a block. So you have like a go-go gadget arm, like a longer arm. Catch your foot. So again, if you use the block, it just makes your arm a little longer if you can't get your foot. Try to get your foot and then pull your heel towards you. Give yourself a passive stretch and then press your foot into your hand to really activate your quad and let that open your heart a bit. Good. Release your hands. Step to a squat. Left foot outside the left hand. I'm just going to take one breath in here and then exhale, fold over your legs. Step your right foot back, left foot back. So you're in a downward facing dog. Inhale, come on through all the way to an up dog. You don't have to flip your feet. Bring your chest through your arms. Exhale, down dog. Nice. Inhale the left leg high. Bend the knee, let the hip turn open. Roll out your left ankle, both directions. Straighten your left leg, but keep your toes facing left and draw your right heel down. Exhale, knee across to the right elbow, tap the left elbow, and then step through. Release your back knee. Inhale, arms up, Anjaneyasana. Back bend. Exhale, release. Curl your right toes and sit your hips onto your right heel. Good. Lift the left toes. Breathe in and exhale. Hinge forward any amount. You can micro bend your left knee. Think that you're lifting your heart to your toes. Take one more breath in and out. So good. Bend your knee. Lift your left leg, standing split. Walk your hands to your right leg. Pull the left hip down a bit. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take your head down. Nice. We're going to play with the balance. So the right hand grabs the calf. The left hand grabs the calf. Interlace your hands behind the calf and then lift your heart up. So good. Breathe in. Exhale, release. Walk your hands forward and step your left foot outside your left hand. Lower your back knee. Reach your left arm around. Grab your foot. Give it a pull. Heel towards the butt. And then push your foot into your hand. Push, push, push. Let that open your chest. Again, use what you need to find your foot. Beautiful. We're going to release and step to a squat, wide squat, toes out, breathe in. Exhale, fold into your legs. Plant your hands, step your left foot back, right foot back, downward dog. Inhale, wave it to up dog. Exhale, lower your knees. Grab your blocks. Bring your blocks here on the medium height. Put your elbows on your blocks. Your knees are a little bit wider than your hips. We're going to take a child's pose. So forehead hangs, and we're going to activate it. So elbows on the blocks, pull the ribs up, and exhale, drop the chest into a back bend. 2 more. Push the elbows down, pull the belly up. Exhale, drop. Chest down. Again, inhale. Push into the hands, the fingertips. Push the elbows down. Pull the belly up. Exhale, drop. Good. Stay there for a few breaths. Again, elbows are as wide as the shoulders on blocks. Forehead is just falling towards the floor. You can rock a little left and right. Nice. Take your blocks to the side. Curl your toes. Down dog, and then right away, walk your hands to your feet at the back of your space. So hip width is about 2 fists inside the arches of your feet. So measure that out so we really know that our femurs are really plugged in evenly to our hips. And check that the knees are not touching. The knees are as wide as the ankles. So everything's just stacked up in a really easy way. And then take your hands behind your calves and slide them down. So fingers face the ground. Good. And then lift your left heel and take your fingers behind your heel and then go to the right and do the same thing. So the thumbs face out and you're on the insides of your fingers. Your head can start to relax. And you want to bend your knees enough that you can feel the thigh hitting the belly. And then start to pull your chest even further down and see if you can get your armpits to hit your knees and wrap the bony part of your elbow backwards. Good, and you can drop and lift your butt a couple times. But don't straighten your legs all the way. Keep the knees and the armpits. Yeah, this is really finding your first fold, the hip crease, really opening up the back, really releasing the front of the hips. Beautiful. And then release, and then maybe straighten your legs all the way if that feels accessible and available to you. Take another breath in and out. So nice. Bend your knees, round your back, and let yourself unfold. Beautiful. Okay, coming to the center of your mat or the top of your mat, lift your right knee up. One leg Tadasana, just pulling the right shin up. And I want you to think about adding a back bend. So any amount, think that your hips go forward and your chest lifts a little bit. You might feel a nice stretch in your left quad. Keep going with it. So lift your gaze. You might fall out. I do a lot. Cool. Let's do the other side. So left leg lifts. Interlace your hands behind your shin. And then think that your hips are going forward slightly. Chest up. Keep pulling on that left leg. Smooth breaths. and release. Awesome. We're going to do a dancer's pose. So you're going to take the right leg, bend the right knee, reach back, and I recommend grabbing the inside of your foot. So your thumb faces up, you're holding your ankle, bend your left knee, left arm can lift, and you're just going to kick your foot into your hand. And the more you kick, the more you might be able to put your chest more forward and maybe even drop it down a bit. Slowly unwind, other side. Take your left hand, grab the inside of your left ankle, your thumb is up. Bend your standing knee just a little bit so you have levity and lightness and bounce so that you're more in the hip. And it will give you actually more access to the left leg, which is what we're focusing on at the moment. The left arm can stretch forward. Soften your gaze in one spot. Steady your breath, steady your eyes. Keep pressing the foot back and up and moving your chest forward. And very slowly, with control, release. Separate your feet hip width, take your arms up, grab opposite elbows. We're going to do a back bend to fold. So move your butt back and keep your heart open. So we're back bending in the upper chest, finding the hinge of the hips. Keep moving your hips back. Let your chest hit your thighs first. Look under your arms, still in chair, in that back bend. So nice. And then finally, let it go. Round your back. Tuck your chin, round your back to come back up. And this time just swim the arms up. And exhale, fold back into your legs. And step to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, step through. Lower your back knee, grab your blocks. We're going to move towards our Hanuman now. So blocks can go back in line with the hips. And recommending that you have something to support you with. So stay with me here. Scoot your left knee back. Keep your right foot where it is. And then walk your blocks back. Good. Right foot doesn't move. Move your left knee back and walk your blocks back. Maybe do that one more time, just a little bit. Cool. So we're coming towards our splits, Hanuman. And I recommend not locking out the knee, keeping it soft so we're really in the hip joint so you can have, again, more access to that back hip. Because the back hip is what's going to probably be more challenging for most people to get fully squared on the hip, right? So we don't want to turn the hips to the left. We want to keep the hip bones facing forward. And then I recommend sliding a block. It could be highest height. It could be medium height. You might put 2 blocks underneath you, and then you can take your arms up. If blocks are not working, keep your hands on blocks. I mean, if you can't get them underneath you, and just stay there and work on, again, squaring the pelvis. Right hip back, left hip forward. If you have availability to take the arms up, do that. Like we did at the beginning of class, hands behind the head. Do little rotations left and right. Left and right. Good. And then go right, tee the arms out, grab your thigh, take your hand to your sacrum and really twist to the right. So good. Lift the right toes. Don't lock out your right knee. And then release. Cool. Slide your left shin forward and you can put a blanket underneath your right butt. Blanket underneath your right butt. So we're in half Virasana. The legs, the femurs are facing forward, and we're just going to walk the hands over the legs. So a little forward fold. It doesn't have to be crazy deep. Just further getting into the back line of the right body. Again, the legs should be parallel, nice and even. Take one more breath in, and on your exhale, maybe take the head down. And then we're just going to take a huge step forward and step to your dog. We're gonna do the other side. You won't need the blanket to start. Step your left foot forward, lower your back knee, go ahead and get your hands on bricks and crawl them back. Good. Slide your right knee back, crawl the bricks back. Scooch the back knee back, crawl the bricks back. Maybe one more like that until you feel like you're at a little bit of an edge, but don't like go past the edge. Don't go off the cliff and lose the alignment. So, I could probably like just throw myself into it, and maybe you can too. But I recommend really working on engaging the legs, keeping the integrity of the pose, right? Yoga is not about going as far as you can and like not having balance and stability in the body. So I really recommend pulling that right hip forward and really focusing on keeping the pelvis level. And also keeping the belly a little bit engaged if you have more of like an anterior tilt, or let's say if you feel this a lot in the low back, come out of it a little bit and use the props to support you. I also recommend thinking the right knee is facing down. The right toes are facing down. And you can think that you're curling the right toes, wrapping the right hip down. Again, if you feel available to take the arms up, if you put something underneath your left sit bone, stack that underneath the left sit bone and take the arms up. Interlace your hands behind your head, little mini twists left and right. Go all the way left, look left, tee the arms out, catch the back sacrum or the thigh, and then right hand to the thigh and turn and look. So good. Take another breath in and out. Beautiful. Grab your blocks. You're going to slide the right knee forward to meet the left knee, and you're going to sit inside your foot. And you could just sit on the ground, but it might be nice to prop up your sacrum. And I recommend go ahead and doing that because we're going to go a little further here. So if you have a blanket or a towel, put it underneath you. Femurs are parallel, straight out from the hips. Lift the left toes up towards your face and then keep scooting your heart forward. Yeah, so really lengthening the front body over the lower body to really focus on the back of the left leg. And then finally, if you want to take your head down, you could do that. Full breath in and a full breath out. And then come up. We are going to set up in a full Virasana, reclined. So come forward and take your shins in Virasana, but put a little blanket between your ankles. Pull your knees up and release the tops of your feet. If this is already uncomfortable anywhere in your legs, your knees, your hips, sit higher, like maybe really high, maybe a bolster. And the first time I ever did this shape, I think I laid in a chair. So I was very, very tight the first time I ever did this pose. So yeah, don't judge yourself if this feels challenging. You might take like a pillow from your bed and put it behind your back. So I'm going to use 2 blankets. I'm sitting on the edge of one, and I have them folded like as they come, just one more time, the long way. And bring that second blanket or bolster or pillow to your buttocks. And then you can kind of like lengthen your tailbone forward to come into reclined. And I would also put a block behind my shoulder blades, again, or bolster, and then maybe another block under your head. So set yourself up for success, as they say. And you might have to adjust. You might have to come out of it, just wing it, figure out what works for you. And yeah, I don't show a lot of more restorative shapes on these classes, but I do them, I practice them, and I really believe in them. So give yourself the scaffolding really to support the body in releasing. So that's really a huge difference in what is like traditional yin yoga and really nervous system supportive restorative yoga. Is that restorative yoga, we're using the props to allow the body to let go. Because tightness cannot let go if it doesn't have something to fall into, yeah? Okay, that was my little rant. I like to have the palms up by my side, but if you're wanting something a little bit more energizing, you could grab opposite elbows and draw your arms over your head. And they might not totally be able to rest that way, but you could turn your block vertically, and then that might work, or you could take the forearms over your head and around the block. So this is actually a pretty deep back bend in a restorative way. And I invite you to stay here as long as you can. If you have sandbags, you could put them on your thighs or your pelvis. If your arms are not hitting the ground easily, you could put your arms on blocks. And then when you're ready to come out, you can use your hands to come up. And this is really where, going into a studio or a private session is so powerful, because you have someone there to strap your thighs in, which I actually meant to teach that, strap around the thighs. So, it's just nice to have someone there, with you to help you. Forgot to do that, but that is nice. And you can think of it as you can think of stretching really in two really clear ways. One is you're activating the muscle that you're lengthening, and you're activating the opposite muscle by strengthening it, right? So if I lift my leg up, I'm lengthening my hamstring and I'm strengthening my quadricep, my hip flexor, with an active movement. Even if I hold the toe, there's still a little bit of activation. But when we are in a restorative shape and the body is supported, tension that's been held for so long through our habitual patterns can start to get a little softer. And our nervous system is also really calm, hopefully. So I really think it supports overall opening up the joint space and training the body how to hold shapes with less effort, because that's ultimately the goal, and why I really believe in all the principles of Katonah yoga is if you get your muscles, or your bones, I should say, if you get your bones in a really good place alignment wise, your muscles can let go of their unhealthy patterns. And then once you have good patterns, yeah, you can go to the gym, you can lift weights, you can do vinyasa yoga and really activate and strengthen good patterns and good alignment. So I hope this makes sense. And if you have any questions about Katonah yoga or this practice or working with me privately, I would love to support you. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.